Why El Narco needs to come to an end. El Narco is a Spanish term that refers to Mexican drug traffickers, Mexican drug trafficking, and Mexican drug trafficking organizations or cartels. A cartel is a group or organization made up of manufacturers and suppliers that aim to lower competition and keep prices high. In this case, the cartels manufacture and supply drugs, try to get rid of rival cartels, and try to keep the prices of drugs high so they make more money. Before I give you guys any more information, can you please raise your hand if you think El Narco is a problem? You may be thinking, why are these Mexican drug cartels a problem? The problem with the Mexican drug cartels is that they supply illicit substances to the public and create a very large ripple effect. The ripple effect created by these cartels involves many different people and forces these people to do things they don't want to do, and if they don't comply with the cartels, they get killed. Cartels such as these also create corruption involving the Mexican government and other people with power, such as the police and military forces. The ripple effect is getting bigger and bigger and involves many countries and a very, very large number of people. The Sinaloa cartel, for example, the Sinaloa cartel is a very large cartel in Mexico. They buy their cocaine in kilograms from manufacturers in Peru or Colombia. They then bring that kilogram back to Mexico. After it is brought back to Mexico, it's transported to all of the countries that they export to, but mainly the USA as it is the closest. The Sinaloa cartel exports drugs to around 50 different countries. The ripple effect created by this particular cartel alone spans across Peru, Colombia, Mexico, the USA, and the other 49 countries they export to, and involves many, many people. Drug cartels are also very violent. Every cartel is trying to get rid of each other so there is less competition so they can make more money. In 2008 to 2011, the Sinaloa cartel and the Juarez cartel were fighting a turf war which was very violent. During this, the violence got so bad that they were experiencing up to 10 murders per day. The Juarez cartel alone lost around 10,000 lives during this period as a result of the fighting. In the years 2007 to 2012, there are 40,000 murders relating to drugs and organized crime in Mexico. Corruption is also a very large problem in Mexico as the drug cartels are making some people very, very rich. El Chapo, who was a former leader of the Sinaloa cartel who is now imprisoned in the United States, has a net worth of $14 billion US, and when he got imprisoned the first time in Mexico in 2001, he was able to bribe the prison guards to let him out. Children are also affected badly by these cartels. If their parents or family members are involved with the cartel, children can easily get access to drugs, and it will be hard for them to not become involved with the cartel, so they will keep supplying the public with illicit substances and they will be involved in violent acts towards other cartels. Also, children may lose their parents or other family members due to cartel violence if they are involved with the cartel. Children may also grow up in fear of themselves, their family or friends getting killed by a cartel. This could also affect them in the way that they might be too scared to leave their homes. This is very hard to change as it is normal for children growing up around cartels. The children affected by these cartels also might turn to drug use and violence if it's normal there. Children and family members of cartel members are also targeted by cartels as they would trust them more as they are related to current cartel members. Right now, I bet you are thinking, how does this affect us in Australia? I'll tell you why. The Sinaloa cartel exports drugs to around 50 different countries, Australia included. Earlier this year in Sydney, Australian Federal Police seized 2 shipping containers that contained methamphetamine or ice disguised in audio equipment. The drugs seized had a street value of 1.29 billion Australian dollars. Mexican cartels have sent smaller shipments to Australia in the past, but but never as large as this one. This shipment also carries an unwritten message, which is that the Mexican cartels are now highly targeting Australia to export drugs to. This makes sense as there is a large population in Australia as well as a large want for drugs. One of the most common drugs in Australia is ice, which is what the shipment contained. Given the size of the ripple effect is so large and the impact on the younger generation and the impact on Mexico, it is essential that El Narco must be stopped.